News this evening. Face it, if you're a parent, you know better than anyone what it means to be tired. But it doesn't have to be that way. Establishing good sleeping habits in your children very early on will make them healthier, and just as important, it'll give you the rest you need. But how do you do it? Well, if you're like many desperate parents, you call in a sleep consultant, otherwise known as the baby whisperer. Randy Neal wraps up our series, Sleepless in BC.
Another solid 3-hour nap for 19-month-old Ryan and his twin brother Tommy. But it wasn't always like that.
Did you have a good nappy? I was a walking zombie. It was a living nightmare.
How much sleep were you getting?
Probably about 3 hours a night.
Joanne Von Drassic and her husband Jason were at their wits' end more than a year ago, trying to raise their then 4-year-old daughter Leah and trying to teach their boys how to sleep for more than 15 minutes at a time.
I was nursing them in bed. I had one on my left, one on my right, and I would nurse one baby, and then they would fall asleep, and Ryan would cry. I would turn around, I would nurse the other baby, and it was back and forth for 4 hours, and I would sleep for 15 minutes at a time.
Finally, at her breaking point, Joanne Googled for help. She found Dawnn Whittaker, a British sleep consultant and parenting coach living in Metro Vancouver.
Well, I've been working with children for a very long time, and a lot of sleep issues are more behavioural than anything else. So sleep associations are a learnt behaviour.
He loves drinking milk.
Dawn spent almost 15 years working as a nanny around the world, learning to put little ones to bed. And when she was on mat leave with her second child, an idea was born.
I think he's ready to go to sleep now.
I heard somebody talking about sleep deprivation, and she had twins, and I said that I could help her if she needed some help.
That was 4.5 years ago. She was the first baby whisperer in Vancouver. Since then, other companies have popped up. But Dawn's technique is so effective, so simple, she's constantly in demand.
It was probably my fault. I had them in the bouncy chairs, and I would be bouncing them at the same time with my feet, rocking them to sleep, giving them a bottle, letting them fall asleep while I was nursing them. All bad habits, but when you're tired and anything works, you do it. Let's bring some more blocks over.
The key really is make sure that when you put them to bed, they are awake when they go to bed.
Very good. You put them on a schedule, you feed them a certain amount of food so that you know that they have full bellies, and if they're being well and they're taken care of all in that manner, they're fine. They need to learn how to soothe themselves.
In only 3 days, the boys were sleeping throughout the night and not waking up during naps. They fell asleep without soothers or food or midnight car rides around the block. Joanne's life changed completely.
How is you unhappy? As a couple too, it brings you together because 7:30 arrives, your kids are in bed. All of a sudden you've got this time to do whatever you want. Late supper, watch a movie, have a bath. They didn't wake up for 12 hours. I could do whatever I wanted.
Dawn shares that kind of success with about 300 parents every year. Her advertising, all word of mouth. She conducts Skype consultations as far away as Singapore and Saudi Arabia.
I am actually teaching the parents. I'm not teaching the child. It's up the parents teach the child. I teach the parents.
That's tea. She's a lifesaver. I could not survive without her. I wouldn't have. I don't know what I would have done without her. Oh, high five. Very good.
A buffet